show you how to handle it. Pay attention, gotta grip it just right. I'ma show you how to handle it. You know how to squeeze it by the end of the night. I'ma show you how to handle it. You gotta know how to protect your life. You get it in your hands, you can take control. Take control. I'ma show you how to handle it. Pay attention, gotta grip it just right. I'ma show you how to handle it. You know how to squeeze it by the end of the night. I'ma show you how to handle it. You gotta know how to protect your life. You get it in your hands, you can take control. Take control. I'ma show you how to handle it. Pay attention, gotta grip it just right. I'ma show you how to handle it. You know how to squeeze it by the end of the night. I'ma show you how to handle it. You gotta know how to protect your life. You get it in your hands, you can take control. Take control.
Hey, what up, what up, what up? Hey man, listen, I repeat, do not get tired of hearing that intro song, man. That's my jam. That's my jam. Welcome to another Firearm Friday. Let's see. We got a good show for y'all today, man. I'm super excited about the content that we bringing out here today. Shout out to Galvestonpodcast for giving us a platform to speak to the people, you know what I'm saying, try to help educate. That's always our goal. Just help educate our people, making sure that we moving smart, making sure that we staying out of trouble, and just know how to navigate these gun laws and be safe with them. So those of you that's jumping in here, thank y'all for being here. Okay, those of you who not here, whatever, I'll be here every other Friday, 6 to 7. So some of the comments that we talking about today, we talking about mostly just like the aftermath of a self-defense situation, what that looks like, how that can how that can benefit you or how that can harm you. It's really different. Everything's case by case. I think a lot of the times we sit up here and we get caught up with TV and movies and things like that, where people will sit up here and say, oh, it's self-defense, cut and dry. And then we raise, hey, listen, it's all good. Let's go home. And, in the movies and in TV shows, it looked just, that's exactly how it looked, right? It's, you make the self-defense situation and the police come out. They say, oh, it was self-defense. You have a good night, sir. Unfortunately, that's not how it is in the real world. So in reality, one of the things that we got to pay attention to is in the event of a self-defense situation, right? Whether you fire your firearm or not, a lot of the times your best course of action is to make a police report. You got to talk to the police, right? Because the last thing you want is for like the bad guy or somebody who was doing something to you to make the report first. And if they make the report first, they could make you look like you the one who's in the wrong. I actually learned that lesson the hard way, where I was involved in a situation with a guy and some things happened, and before I know it, I was in trouble, and I had to basically fight in court, to prove that I didn't do anything wrong. But that's because he went and talked to the police. He filed a report. Police came knocking at not even at my door. They went to my mama's house and knocked on her door. And that just started the whole thing. So that's something that I learned, like I said, the hard way. And being in the education space, that's basically, I wanted to turn around and say, hey, I went through it, so you don't have to go through it. So I got a couple stories today I want to talk to y'all about. There's a story with this guy. His name is Tony Earls, out of Houston. This story happened out of Houston. following his case. He been in trial this week, and I've been following his trial and stuff like that. And hi, Miss Bridget Yvette Williams Jones. I've been following his case this week. It's been super interesting to me, and I don't have time to go through every single detail of his case, but I am going to, kind of pick and choose just to kind of let y'all know like what happened and what he's dealing with, and I'll give you some links and stuff like that if you want to find out more about that case. Excuse me. Also, I got another case I want to discuss, and probably where we're going to start today is with this kid. His name is Shakur Everett. Yeah, Shakur Everett. Shakur Everett is an 11-year-old boy out of Michigan. And matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the clip. I'll play the clip and let you guys hear what's going on with him. Let me see. Let me click a couple buttons. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. All right, let's see. Y'all let me know if y'all can't hear, okay?
What am I to do? He's 11 years old, 7th grade, never been in trouble before.
A Lansing mom is pleading for her son to be reinstated in school after she says he was expelled for possession of a weapon.
They kicked him out of school for the whole year. Online schools are honoring their decision, nor did they provide us a different resource or a different avenue to go.
Savitra McClurkin says her son is being punished for disarming and dismantling a gun that another student brought to the Dwight Rich School of the Arts back in May, and for not speaking up about it right away.
He didn't want to implicate himself in it, nor did he want to tell on the person that actually brought the firearm, because he knows firearms aren't supposed to be in school.
He was able to disarm and disassemble the gun because of his hunting background. McClurkin says in the moment, her son was scared and thought he was helping the other students around him.
It's devastating because he's a bright kid, and all he wants to do is be a kid. And as a parent, I feel like I may be more devastated than him.
At Thursday night's board meeting, the Lansing School District declined to comment on the issue, even after McClurkin took the stand during public comment.
They are setting my child up for failure. They're setting him up to be a statistic. And I've been doing everything in my will and my power to keep him from that. After 180 days, they may or may not reinstate him. So then what?
When we pick.
Yeah, so that's the situation with that, man. What they did, there's a couple things that wasn't in that video. So Shakur Stevenson, as you could probably tell, was black. The student who he took the gun from was white. He took the gun from the kid, basically dismantled it, right? Like just field stripped it, took the bullets, threw them in the trash, and then apparently hid the gun. And because of this, this got him expelled from school for the whole school year. I think I got mixed emotions about it, right? On one hand, I feel like, hey, Shakur Stevenson is a hero because who knows what this other kid would have did with that gun. So him taking that gun and dismantling so nothing could have happened, I think that's positive, and I can appreciate that, honestly. On the other hand, I feel like he absolutely should have said something, right? And I can understand I can understand people not wanting to get their friends in trouble and stuff like that. Like, I definitely understand that. But at the same time, look at the alternative. The alternative is you got caught with a gun and you got expelled from school and things like that. Now, I think once the facts came out and things like that, I think expelling this kid for the whole school year was excessive. I do believe that 100%. I think that's an excessive punishment because for me, I think maybe like 6 months ISS or something, like in school suspension. I don't think he should have been expelled from school because at the end of the day, we don't know what this kid just prevented, right? Apparently, he had knowledge of firearms and stuff like that. He knew how to handle them because his godfather used to take him hunting or take some hunting and things like that. So shout out to his godfather. Oh man, thank you, David. Shout out to his godfather and stuff like that, who keeps this kid educated. So I definitely appreciate that. Just me being who I am and wanting to keep people knowledgeable about firearms. But at the same time, this kid, I mean, he's 11, right? Kids are gonna make mistakes and maybe not want to tell on their buddies or their friends and stuff like that. So when I bring that all into into the fold, I feel like expelling him from school. And right now he's doing a non-accredited online school, right? So he might have to potentially repeat the same grade that he's in and stuff like that. I think that's excessive, right? Especially when, like I said, he stopped what could have been another tragedy just because he took the gun from his friend and made it to where it wasn't operable. So I don't know, like, what do you guys think? I mean, any comments on that story? I don't know how many people we got watching. Oh, we got a few. Hey guys. But that's one story of today that really got me like, dang. And like I said, I got mixed emotions on it. I think that he definitely needed to learn a lesson as far as, hey, you don't go down with your friends. But I don't think expulsion was the answer. I think ISS would have got the job done just as well. So no comments, huh? 11-year-old took the gun from another kid. Expelled. Y'all thoughts? All right. Well, guess we ain't got no comments. It's all right. Well, y'all keep watching. On to my other story. I got another story too. This was a much bigger story. A guy by the name of Tony Earls Jr. Tony Earls and his wife was in a car. This was Valentine's Day 2022, I believe. They were in the car. They pulled into a Chase Bank, and a guy pulls up and robs them. When they rob him, Mr. Earls goes and he shoots some rounds back, and as he's shooting back, he also shoots into a car and strikes a 9-year-old little girl who ultimately died. I'm gonna let y'all see the video, and like I said, I've been following this case all week. It's been pretty interesting. So I want y'all to see the video, and I want to know y'all thoughts. I want to know what y'all think about it and how that went. Okay, let me set this up for y'all. Y'all bear with me a little bit because I'm I'm new to this system, so I'm not always getting it as fast as I could in other situations. But let me see if I can get that going. Let's do this one. All right. So let's get that going. And his wife at the ATM Apparently, she was depositing some money. Robert comes up, give me the money. Give it up. Give me everything. Give me your purse. Give me your wallet. Give it up.
I never denied shooting in the truck.
These videos is all from, and excuse me for the distortion. So, Mr. Earls, he was first. I don't believe that young man should have gotten himself involved, though his mom says he knows about guns. Kids gonna be kids, so I get that. I mean, I think he should have got involved either. But like I say, the fact that you got involved, you should have said something. But he didn't give, he didn't tell him his homie. But going back to Mr. Earl's situation, it's kind of a sad situation because, I mean, and I'm speaking to the fellas that's here. We all could have been there, right? We all could have been sitting in the car with our girl. She stopped at the ATM real quick. Some guy rolls up on us. He pointing the gun at her. He pointing the gun at me. Anything could have happened. And you got your light flashing before your eyes. Now, Mr. Earls had a gun on him. And I'm going to go and try to find it in the video of his testimony where he was talking about, he never had an opportunity to pull his gun out while the robber was there. The unfortunate thing, there's so many things that happen wrong with this, and if I'm being completely honest, my thoughts are all over the place. So let's talk about where I want to start with it. Number one, you got right. Number one, you took an L. You gotta know how to take your L. The robber had the drop on you. There was essentially nothing you can do. And you jumping out the car after the fact was, for the most part, pure ego. I mean, you had already got away with your life. Now, during his testimony, he says, well, he was scared that the robber was coming back to finish him off or something like that. But if that's the case, he could have just shot you while you was in the car and you couldn't move and he couldn't have missed and all the things. And then he got the stuff and it ran off. On the second video, the 9-year-old in the jacker's car. No. So Rufus, in the second video, the truck that rolled by that Mr. Earls was shooting at, that had nothing to do with the robber. Nothing to do with the robber whatsoever. That was just a guy that was on the way to dinner with his family. And when Mr. Earls shot into Mr. Earls jumped out the car, he started shooting. Because that truck came from the direction that the robber ran, he assumed that the robber jumped into that truck. So he starts firing into the truck. And as he's firing into the truck, he strikes the little girl in the head. It was 9-year-old, I forget her name, but 9-year-old. It was a Hispanic family. It had nothing to do with with the robbery that had just happened. They just happened to be coming down that street. The robber ran that way. And when he comes from behind the car and runs, he sees the truck and assumes that the robber jumped into that truck. But he shoots into there and hits the little girl in the head. And the little girl ended up dying, 9 years old. This happened in 2022. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's one of them things where, you could tell he don't do any type of training. He hasn't had any type of training because we don't teach that, right? We don't teach that at all. Anybody who really trains in guns, one of the biggest things that we tell you is that you're responsible for every bullet that comes out of that gun, whether you fired or not, right? Whether you are the one who pulled the trigger or not, you're responsible for every single bullet that comes out of that gun. And he was shooting. In his testimony, he says he was trying to protect his wife. That's what he kept saying. I'm trying to protect my wife. I was scared, but and it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback. I can sit up here and be like, oh well, he should have did this and he should have did that. But I mean, luckily I trained in a situation like that. Was Mr. Earls charged? That's a good question. So originally, he was brought under. They did an investigation, and so this was 2022. Originally, Mr. Earls got a no bill. They tried to get him for murder, and there was a no bill back in 2022, 2023, whenever they were trying to put that together. And what ended up happening was after the no bill, he just kind of went on about his business. Well, they came back with supposedly some new evidence, and I never really seen where they did the new evidence, where they showed the new evidence, but they saying that he did that with the new evidence, they could charge him for manslaughter. And if I'm being honest, me, knowing what manslaughter means and stuff like that, I agree that he could potentially be guilty of manslaughter. So the trial that he had this week was for manslaughter. So he got no bill. They dropped the murder charge and hit him with manslaughter, and his trial actually just concluded. He got sentenced today to 20 years, which is what the producers over here typing up right now. But yeah, he ended up getting sentenced to 20 years. But like I said, the reason it sucks to me is because myself and so many of my friends and people that I know, this is a situation that's kind of easy to find yourself in, right? He states in his video that he tells his wife all the time not to go to the bank at night. And I'll bounce around in here a little bit because
What was the first thing you noticed about the robber?
Asked her, what's wrong? A robber came out of nowhere and was like, give me the money, give me the money.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So the robber came out of nowhere. What was the first thing you noticed about the robber?
His gun.
Where was it pointed?
And my wife.
How did that make you feel?
Like, try to diffuse the situation as much as possible.
How so?
By giving him everything that he was asking for.
I'm gonna pause it right here real quick. I want to touch on something that he said that I believe. So I teach people all the time about when you're in a high stress situation, certain things that your body do. Some of the things that your body do, or the effects of like this type of mental stress on the body, what it does, you can come up with auditory exclusion, where for whatever reason you can't hear certain things, right? And your brain, like you hear it, but you don't hear it. It just kind of passes through. You can't process it. You also can have tunnel vision. and you get like hyper focus, like the things that happen come up in HD. So I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie Biker Boys. You know, when Lawrence Fishburne, whenever he get ready to race, he kind of get that tunnel vision, and all he see is the finish line. Well, that's kind of how it happens in a high stress situation. So when Mr. Earl said, when we asked him what's the first thing you noticed, he said, I noticed this gun. That's a real response. Like the first thing and probably the only thing you could really see is just that gun, right? That's all he could see was the threat. He couldn't take his eyes off it. Everything else was oblivious to him. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick because that's a real response. Marcy say I've been told my whole life not to go get gas to the ATM by myself at night. And yeah, no, that's important, man. Stuff happens at night. And the thing is, you know, people, especially in my LTC class, people argue with me all the time when I tell them some stuff ain't worth the fight because you can do the right thing, say the wrong thing, and end up, you know, on trial. But I tell people all the time, defensive property, although in the state of Texas, you can use lethal force in the defense of property. A lot of times it's not worth it. Like now, Mr. Earl said, I don't know if I already passed it or not. He said in this interview that his wife had already put the money in the ATM. She hadn't put the check. So when the robber comes up, he gets her purse, he gets his wallet, and he makes them throw the keys out. But he didn't get he says she had a whole bunch of money. He didn't get the money. And that's kind of big to me. It's like, well, look, let him go with the purse. You can go back to the DPS and get a new driver's license. You can cancel your cards, all those things. But to get out and start shooting all crazy, you know, and then, you know, you lost. He had already broken your line of sight, right? You lost where he was, and then you start shooting at this truck, ultimately hitting this little girl. Like, honestly, it just wasn't really worth it, right? Especially when you and your wife both lived. Was it worth it was that 9-year-old girl's life worth all what you're dealing with now? When you could have sat back and just took your L, right? He talked about how he was from the streets and the type of neighborhood he grew up in, you know, things like that. You know, typical dude from the hood. We get it. You know, we didn't all live there, pass by there, been amongst that. We know how it go. But we also know sometimes when you get got, you just got to get got. You know, live to see another day.
Okay. Now you had your gun with you. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you not take out the gun at that point?
He had to drop on.
I didn't have an opportunity. My wife's life was in danger as well as mine. It just wasn't like fuse the situation. Like, please just go.
What happened next?
Well, we gave him the things that he was asking for. And he kept asking for money. But my wife kept saying she put it in the ATM machine. So he was looking at the billfold that was sitting on the console on the stick shift. So I grabbed him and said, "This is what you want?" He snatched it.
What happened after that?
He asked for the keys. My wife was panicking. She was so hysterical. It was like, we don't have no keys.
What's going through your mind while that's going on?
Please just give him the keys. Stop yelling and just comply.
That's what I would tell my girl too. I might even get the cussing. Bitch, if you don't throw them keys out the window, this man got a gun on us, man. Intelligent individual, you break down of this news story is something special for a man of the name Trigger Train. Baka J the GOAT. My name is Trigger Train because I'm a firearms instructor, and I shoot a lot. So although it's you know, although it can be looked at in a negative way, this is my company, Lion Pride Firearm Training. Yeah, no, I like to shoot. I believe in the shooting sports. I think that we all should learn responsible gun ownership. I think that we all should, practice with firearms. We should teach our children firearms. So I'm big on that. But yeah, I'm not just some reckless cat out here with a gun. I started my company about 5 years ago. We actually coming up on our anniversary, but we coming up on 5 years of doing Lion Pride Firearm Training, and I started it because I felt like there was a huge disparity in white gun ownership and white training versus black gun ownership and black training. So I do a lot of training and stuff, and even before I became an instructor, I would go to these classes, I would go to these trainings, and a lot of times I was the only black dude there. And at the height of 2020, when we had, so much racial tension and things like that, people talking about a race war and all this other stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, if we truly had a race war, we get our ass mocked. That's just the truth, because most of us don't train. We'll go to the range, we'll shoot, but we don't train. We don't practice how to manipulate these firearms properly, safely. We don't practice our grouping. We don't practice tactical stances. Do we know the difference between cover and concealment? Right? Do we practice drawing from concealment? Just different things like that. We don't practice. Now I do, but us as a whole don't. And typically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to give people in my community a face that they can recognize, a face that they can trust when they do attend these classes. They want to give them somebody who come from where they come from, who live the lifestyle that they live, who've been around it. Because a lot of times these people can't connect with us, right? They'll tell us this and that, but I mean, can we really receive it? I know how to use my swords and my legs. Unless you could strike down bullets with your swords and legs, Reby, it ain't necessarily enough. But listen, as a martial artist, I'm not one who could sit up here and tell you that, having something to self-defend yourself is better than nothing, right?
So what's going on? So she gave him the keys. From my seat, I couldn't really see if she gave it to him or however. Like, I watched the video.
She threw the keys out the window, by the way.
It's different, but
Let me ask you about that. I mean, you've been sitting through this.
So if you notice, he said he watched the video over and over, and the video's different than how he remembered it. That's another thing that happens to your body and your brain when you're in these high stress situations. When you're in these situations, your body can create false memories, false ideas, just based on things that you have in your subconscious, things that you dreamed. Like, there are details that literally come to your mind that you could swear up and down. You can swear up and down is true, right? Because you lived it and you feel like, I was in the moment, I know what happened. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times, because you're in this high stress situation, fighting for your life, you don't remember the details as well, right? You don't remember how things happen or even the order that they happen. And this is why it's important, like when you have these conversations with police and stuff like that, that you don't have these conversations without your attorney present. Have your attorney present when you go to make your statement and things like that, because one of the jobs of a good attorney is to delay the process of you making that statement and things like that. Because the last thing that you want, anytime like shots are fired or even if there's a body or something like that, it's going to be treated like a homicide off rip, right? It's going to be treated like a homicide until it's proven that it's not a homicide. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that in the midst of all these things, when your body's filled with adrenaline and endorphins and all these things that's going on, that you don't mess around and say the wrong thing, even though you did the right thing. Because when they read you those rights, anything you say can and will be used against you, right? So pay attention to those things. That's super, super important, guys.
This whole trial, you've been seeing the videos. Is what you see in video a little bit different from the way you remembered it happening?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you open to the fact that the way you remember it happening may have been, you may be mistaken about certain details?
Yes.
So with the keys, did you have concerns when those keys were taken?
Yes.
What were your concerns?
That we won't be able to drive the car. If it cut off, we won't be able to cut it back on.
Did you feel like you had to get the keys?
Yes.
So what did you do?
After Robert left, I told my wife I gotta get the keys, and she was like, I'm like, you okay? She like, yes. So I was getting the keys. I opened the door to get the keys.
So let me ask you this. This is the question everyone in here has got on their mind. When you got out of the car, Tony, what was going through your mind when you started firing back out?
I have no idea. Like, to be totally honest, I don't even have not one clue.
I don't mean to laugh at Mr. Earls, because the truth of the matter is, it's sad. And at this point that they have in this, that he's taking a stand, he's already been convicted of manslaughter. And I don't mean to laugh, Adam, I don't. But when he said, I have no idea, the truth of the matter is, what was going through his mind more likely is, Negro, I can't believe you just robbed us. Like, I'm finna pop your ass for this. Like, he was on some vengeful shit. And I get it. Like I said, I got an ego. Most men do. I understand the feeling of feeling powerless in that moment. You know, wanting that immediate get back. I 100% understand it. But like I say, sometimes that could be just the wrong move, man. Because if you make even the slightest of mistakes, right, legal mistakes, you could be sitting up here on trial. I don't know what just happened.
Do you sitting here right now even remember running up in that grass like the video shows?
I remember running, like, this is after I shot the first couple shots. I didn't see the robber run past the car. I didn't see him. All I saw was the headlights approach. The headlights, like, do this one, like, dip in, and then, and
Did you have any opinion about whether that truck was associated with the robber?
yes,
What did you think?
I thought he was running, because he was running away, and he was saying, I got it. So I thought he was going to get in the black truck.
See, that's the thing that I understand where Mr. Earls is coming from. Like, I understand, like, from his vantage point, it looked like he was running towards the black truck to get the black truck to skeet off. But in reality, this man the robber had already broken your line of sight. So you were shooting, but not knowing. And what I want to do real quick for you guys, I want to fast forward to, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I think this is it. I want to fast forward to where they show where the robber went, okay? Check my notes, make sure I got the right spot. Right here. Yep. All right, so they're going to show where the robber went off of some of the cameras in the area, okay? So we're going to see this again. And it'll show you where Mr. Earls was and where the robber was at the same time. Did I not press play? I did not. right, Robert takes off here up here at the top. We get out, start shooting at him. The truck keeps going. The Robert right here. Mr. Earl's looking at the truck. Wait, get the keys. He get in the car. He take another shot at him. One of the things that I think is interesting too is that they asked Mr. Earls about when he bought his first gun. He said he bought his first gun in 2017. They was like, you never had any formal training or anything like that. And he said no. Just, within the neighborhood that he live in, in the lifestyle around the people that he live in, he gotta, be how he is. And they asked him why he hadn't taken like some type of course or something like that. And what he said was he was trying to get it, but then the law changed in September of 2021. Here's the thing. You telling me you had a gun for 4 years. 4 years you had a gun and never went and got any training. Never went and did anything with it. And I tell y'all this all the time. Like all the time, I'll be like, listen, when stuff pop off, it don't happen the way you think it happened. You're not going to have time to do this. You need to have these understandings of what to do, when to do it. And I tell people all the time, the body can't go where the mind has never been. This is why training is so important. You have to put yourself in certain situations and train for these situations, because that is how your body will respond to it, right? That's how our brains work. Our brains look for something that is done before and make that connection. If you ain't never done these type of things, you're not just going to rise up to the occasion and all of a sudden become John Wick. That's not how it works. It does not work like that. What happens to people is you fall to your lowest level of mastery, right? If you fall to the lowest level of your training, of your skill level. I saw it all the time, even when I was training my kids. So even when my kids were training, like in martial arts, where I'm sitting up there and I'm teaching my kids, certain jabs and crosses and things like that, they can throw the cleanest looking jab. They can throw the cleanest looking cross. Everything looks good. Jab, cross, hook, all the things, right? All that looks good, right? When we're sitting there shadow boxing or we're just practicing. Now, put another kid in front of them. Now throw that jab, cross, and hook. It's not looking so clean now, right? Because they haven't mastered it. Now they're doing more of a windmill, right? Because that jab, cross, and hook, they haven't mastered that yet. So what happens is they tend to revert. They revert back to what they already know, which is swinging kind of wild, right? There's no power here, right? Your power's in the twist of that jab. The power's in the twist of that cross in your hips. And that's something that you can see when you see certain people and how they move. It's no different in firearms, right? It's no different in these type of things. You will fall to the level of your training, of your mastery. If you haven't mastered this, you will fall right past that. And it's clear to see that Mr. Earls definitely had no training. He didn't know what to do, and that's unfortunate for him. It really is. I want to let it play one more time. This time with the call outs. Excuse the distortion in the. Get loud. He jump out the car. He starts shooting. 2 shots. 3 shots. Come over. 4 shots. Here goes the truck right here. 5. Now he's shooting at the truck. And the bad guy is gone. He's shooting at the truck. He's still shooting at the truck. Bad guy over here. Bad guy to his left. He's shooting to the right. They catch the bad guy over here running. He's still shooting at the truck. Bad guy way over here. One of the rules of gun safety is knowing your target and what's beyond it.
So you'll agree with me that that shows that the only person shooting a weapon out there was you. Correct.
I'm not too for sure.
And you can see there that you started shooting at the Alvarez vehicle, then you started speeding off. And then you continue to shoot into the vehicle, right?
I never denied not shooting in the vehicle.
But then, just 13 months after knowing you killed a 9-year-old.
Remember, he originally got a no bill.
You still chose to carry a weapon, be in a public place, and using it the way you did. That didn't change your behavior this night, correct?
I don't understand the question that you asked.
So what the prosecutor's asking him right now is, and one of the other things too, man, when you being investigated, they investigate everything about you, right? They're gonna go to your social media, they're gonna go to your previous crimes, they're gonna do everything to figure out anything they can twist. We see this stuff in the news, right? Anytime somebody do something, they go and find, you look at like Trayvon Martin, all that type of stuff. They went and found pictures of him shooting up the finger, right? He was a menace. They try to make it. They're gonna try to find something to discredit you and make you out to be some terrible person. So what the prosecuting attorney is talking about right now, 13 months later after he shot the little girl. So at 13 months later after this incident, Mr. Earls had an incident with his stepson. Let me find it. It is right about here. Right about here. He had an incident with his stepson where him and his stepson get into a fight, and apparently there were some guns and stuff involved here too.
Yes, sir.
We'll get back to it in a second. Now what I want to do is talk to you about the aggravated assault that happened. Now, this was March of 2023, right?
Yes.
This was a year and a month after you killed Arlene Alvarez, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, I believe you just testified in front of this jury that you did not put the gun pointed at your stepson. Is that what you said?
I said I pointed it and told him to go back to where he came from.
You admit that you pointed the gun at him.
In the direction of where he came from.
And you also said that you didn't do it until you saw a gun? Did you see a gun?
He was digging in his pants.
Did he have a gun?
And I saw the end of it in his back pocket, along with some more things.
Okay.
That was in his pocket.
Why don't we watch the video, okay? Go ahead and watch it. And he's standing by the door, right?
You saw him digging his pocket before I came over towards him?
You right now, let's pause it, have the gun out in your left hand. Is that right?
Correct.
And whether his hand is in his pocket, you do not see a handgun, do you?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
At the moment, I thought I saw it.
And you were wrong, right?
I don't know.
Well, in fact, when we heard your statement to the officer that was being recorded, you first said
He got an aggravated
"I saw
assault here,
a handgun,
13,
so I had to pull it out
13 months
to defend
later.
myself. You said that, right?
Correct.
But then, after she said, I'm looking at the video, I'm not seeing anything, he goes, oh, well, you said his hand was in his pocket. Right?
His hands were in his pocket.
And you will now at least agree that you.
So what ended up happening was the very next day, they get into a fight. And the thing about Mr. Earls is Mr. Earls, I guess he don't understand how all this coincides with the prosecuting attorney basically making a case to his character and who he is and the type of person that he is, right? And all this is after he killed a 9-year-old little girl. So yeah, you got a no bill, but to me, I feel like if I made mistakes, right, which I don't think he intended to shoot a little girl, right? No parts of me feel like that. That's why I'm okay with the manslaughter charge. But I would think, me personally, if I made the type of mistake and I, killed a little girl, that I would move a little differently, moving forward, just because of my situation, because of what happened to me already. But yeah,
Stepson said
they end up having a fight. Right.
He did acknowledge having a gun around this day. You heard that, right?
So he didn't have the last video I just showed.
Well, he acknowledged
he didn't have a gun.
said,
The stepson didn't have a gun then.
in this incident, right?
But the very next day, they have a
gun
fight.
falls out when y'all are tussling, right?
He reached for it.
And I'll give you that this appeared to be mutual, meaning there was an argument and y'all are both hitting each other, right? You can see that on video. I'll give you that. But what you told the detective, the reason why you had to punch him is because he was taking the gun out. That's not true, correct?
He punched me.
Right, and that's why you punched him back. It's not because he was taking a gun out, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if you said that, that's not true. You just punched him back because he punched you.
Correct.
Okay.
And he was reaching for his gun.
When was he reaching for the gun? We just saw it. All right, let's replay it and you show me when he's reaching for the gun. I just think it looks like y'all are both fighting each other. And by the way, what are you doing there? Why are you walking by him?
I wonder what he's saying to him, because he definitely saying something to him.
I was at the place of business. I was doing what I was doing.
Okay.
Picked his pants up. Look, he's saying something. Ow. Now they fighting. The gun go flying.
All right, so pause it there. So you see where we're not seeing him pulling out a gun or anything?
Well, I assumed that he was reaching for his gun. I didn't have my gun. I didn't have no gun. It's no gun being present in it.
This is the point, though, sir. You always are claiming people have guns, and that's why you have to do things.
The lifestyle that I live in, the neighborhood that I live in, you see these type of events happen all the time.
Okay, but in here it's not happening, and you're claiming it's happening and justifying your behavior by saying it's happening.
I say all the time, guys, that the prosecutor's job is to put you in jail, right? That is literally their job. They get graded on their conviction rate, right? That is what makes them good or bad, how many people they can put in jail versus how many they don't. So with that being said, I mean, a lot of the times, even if you are in a situation, their job is to put you in jail. Even if the evidence say that you shouldn't be, right? We finna wrap this up here in a few minutes, man. I really just want to bring this case to light to y'all. I will put some, what do you call it? I'm gonna put some, like a video, if you guys want to know more about this case and stuff like that. You can Google it. You can go to YouTube and see some of the videos and see how the trial played out. His name is Tony Earls Jr. He's out of Houston, Texas, which is where most of this stuff came from. Most of this whole video that we watching comes from the trial and stuff off of YouTube. There's another page that I follow. The lady is not. I'm not a lawyer, but she does a lot of commentary and stuff like that. So I like her page. I'm gonna put a link up to her page as well if you guys want to look into this more. But I found this super interesting just because I teach this week in, week out about, you know, knowing what to do in these situations, paying attention. And I think part of me feels like the lack of training kind of led to, you know, this situation for Mr. Earls. It's an unfortunate situation. One that I think prior to me getting the training and being, you know, an advocate, trainee and trainer, I think that kind of leads to me thinking differently about how to respond in situations like this. But I think for those people who do not want to go train, who do not want to get their license to carry, things like this, because this is the type of stuff we talk about, right? We talk about things like this, and I need you to understand that it's not always black and white, cut and dry. It's not always, oh, I acted in self-defense and, you know, close the book, everything's okay. Like, even if you do everything right, you can still find yourself being prosecuted. This is why I'm partnered with companies like the USCCA. They offer, a self-defense insurance, but it's for lawful acts of self-defense, right? So have somebody in your corner, right? Have that union rep, have access to lawyers and stuff like that. Because I don't know what his financial situation is. I don't know if he got a public defender. I don't know if he can afford an attorney or what his situation was. But ultimately, it's a sad story because from me looking, this looked like a man who loved his wife, right? And they got caught up in a situation, and he was doing what he could to protect her. Unfortunately, in the midst of that, a little girl got hurt, and that can't go unpunished, especially when, even though you had good intentions, you were reckless with the firearm, right? The robber had broke your line of sight. You didn't know where the robber was. You fired into a vehicle that you thought the robber was in. It's nighttime. You can't see as well. This guy was dressed in all black. I mean, there's so many details as to why you shouldn't have tried to pursue or anything. I think you should have got the hell out of there. Take your L. Yeah, we lost our purse. We lost our wallet, whatever. Call it a night, go home, pray about it. File that police report, of course. But I just wanted to put that out there for you guys, man. We're finna wrap this up shortly. Upcoming week tomorrow, I got a basic pistol class. I think it's about full. Actually, I think it's about sold out. I might have one spot left. For those of you who wanted to train, I know somebody hit me up earlier saying that she wanted to train. So if you're available for tomorrow, feel free to come through. I do private lessons every weekend. So if the classroom setting ain't for you, that's okay. We can do one-on-one and do it around your schedule. We can make that happen. All right. This is what I love to do. Next month, I got license to carry. Okay. We talk about the laws that are associated with carrying a gun. We talk about stuff that I believe would have prevented him acting the way he did in this sense if he paid attention in that type of class. We talk about the use of deadly force. So should I shoot? We talk about stuff like that. Like, should I shoot? When you can, when you can't. What can be deemed as justified? What can't be deemed as justified? Nonviolent dispute resolution. Right? These are the things that we talk about in this class, and that's why I think it's so important. I get so sick of people telling me, well, you don't even need a license in Texas. No, you don't legally need a license, but it's better to have one. Okay, it's better to have one than not to have one. With that being said, man, my time is about up. I want to thank all you guys who tuned in this week to check out the show. I'm trying to bring y'all some more content, man. Like I said, my goal is to educate. That's all I want. I want Black people educated. I want us to know how to move, because an armed people are harder to oppress. I believe that 100%. With that being said, man, I'm out. Y'all can find me Lion Pride Firearm Training LLC. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but I don't know how to use it that good. I'm old. But you can also Google me, okay? You can call my phone. I'm typically monitoring my phone from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So give me a call if you guys got questions, any of those type of things, all right? I'm out of here, man. Y'all take it easy.
I'ma show you how to handle it. Pay attention, gotta grip it just right. I'ma show you how to handle it. You know how to squeeze it by the end of the night. I'ma show you how to handle it. You gotta know how to protect your life. As you get it in your hands, you can take control. Take control. I'ma show you how to handle it. Pay attention, gotta grip it just right. I'ma show you how to handle it. You know how to squeeze it by the end of the night. I'ma show you how to handle it. You gotta know how to protect your life. As you get it in your hands, you can take control. Take control. I'ma show you how to handle it. Pay attention, gotta grip it just right. I'ma show you how to handle it. You know how to squeeze it by the end of the night. I'ma show you how to handle it. You gotta know how to protect your life.